So how does alcohol and psychedelics affect the brain functioning?
It distorts it.
Okay.
Different effects. It either shuts it down, distorts it, but in some way it makes it non-functional. All right. People use alcohol, the biggest source of self-medication on the planet that's socially acceptable.
Right. Stress relieving.
Yeah.
Substitute.
The basic problem we have with there is stress, and at the end of the day, you got to do something, or in the middle of the day, or the morning, depends how bad it is.
Right.
You take alcohol, and you take alcohol for one reason.
Right.
You don't want to remember. You don't want to be responsible. And you don't want to have to care. You want to be just easy.
Right.
So the only way to do that is to turn off your prefrontal cortex, because you should keep track of everything.
Right.
It knows what you have to do, who you are, where you're going, and what you have to do, and then and so if you take that offline, you're just a happy camper. But at that point, you're just a big bunny rabbit, okay?
Right.
And you're just bouncing around and having fun, okay? That's not human beings. That's sad. But in the face of alternatives, that's what we got, okay? If you took away the alcohol, it'd be crazy out there, right? People, you think it's crazy now. You take away the alcohol, and people would be like, "What am I going to do with this stress?"
So in a way, it's helping the society.
Yes. Just like churches and everything else has some influence to keep things sort of cooled off, like
sober down.
Got to keep it sobered. It doesn't solve the problem. Church has been around forever. Alcohol's been around forever. Hasn't solved a single problem. Momentarily, it solves every problem, right? You go to the church, you feel great. After you go to church, you do whatever you want to do, okay?
Right.
So the point is, the only way to solve all of these problems is individually at the level of the self, because that's where the problem starts and ends.
Right. So explain
Did that answer the question? Maybe.
Maybe. Not the psychedelics one.
Oh, psychedelics. Well, they just cause confusion.
So
it's just they mix up the circuits. So it doesn't mean psychedelics don't have a reality. It's just not a reality which is usually useful. Okay. And if you want to get in touch with who you are, you might as well get to the real self and not another version of it.
Right.
See, this is a version of who we think we are.
Right.
Right. And you wake up in the morning, you have a slightly different version because you're fresher. Right. If you take alcohol, you get a different version of yourself.
Right.
If you take a psychotrope, you get a different version.
Right.
Now, they all have an impact on who we are.
Right.
But they're not who we are. So taking a psychedelic is not necessarily going to help us find out who we are. It's definitely not going to help you transcend.
Right.
Okay. And it's probably not going to be useful if you want to transcend. All right. So psychedelics are not recommended. All right. But again, people don't understand that the bank is already available. Right.
Yeah.
If they know the bank was available, they wouldn't fool around with the guy out front, right? Trying to sell him something.
Right.
Excuse me, I gotta go to the bank. I'll talk to you later. Okay? And then you don't even talk to the lady at the front desk. You say, "I'm sorry, I gotta go into the vault." Right? Excuse me, I'm just going to the vault. Right? You're in the vault. Everything's there. Okay. They come to you now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you already knew that and had that experience, then all this stuff would be irrelevant.
Right.
No one would ever want to use alcohol because it just reduced that beautiful experience.
Right.
Alcohol is like putting a fire into the vault. Who wants a fire in the vault, right? So all these things just distort life. But because life is already distorted, we don't know the difference and we can't evaluate it properly.
So is the society so messed up right now that, use of alcohol, use of all these things, and the way how media and everything is showcasing things, music even, like things, trends, is that a way of calming things down? Is that a way of...
Yeah, everything is entertainment.
Numbing things down.
Yeah, just entertaining the people, keeping them happy. You want happy people, otherwise you have problems. Right? That's what happened in India. Right? It's a side thing, but Britain, they found out that India, everybody was happy a long time ago. And they realized, this is all written down.
Okay.
And they realized, they went back home and they told everybody back home in England that everybody's very happy. And the only way we're going to be able to run this country and take advantage of all the riches and the resources and rip it off and so on like that is to eliminate their culture so they can't be happy. If they're not happy, then they're going to need us to make them happy. So they got rid of the happiness and the culture, and then everybody depended upon the British, and so that's how the British ruled India. But British left, and what was left, everything was all sort of dismantled in a mess. Where's Veda? Right? Now it's, McDonald's. That's not happiness. Right? I mean, they say it's happiness, but for some people it's happiness.
But it's not serving happiness.
Not
in a family
long.
pack.
Maybe for just a moment when you get that first bite, after a while it's like, I've had that
trans fats.
Yeah. So it's just everybody's trying to be happy, and the way to control society is to sort of cultivate happiness.
Right.
Now it's a nice thing to do. People should be happy, but Happiness is actually inside.
Right.
Right. It's not. It doesn't get generated really from the outside. I mean, they try, and it works to some extent.
Yeah.
But that's not true happiness. That's just momentary fooling around, and then they get mad in the next moment. Yeah.